Welcome, everyone, to Awakening Spiritual Intelligence. Today's theme is beauty. I'm Pauline, I'll be our tech host, and I'll hand it over to Yosi Amram, our host for today.
Thank you, Pauline. You are my co-conspirator, host, co-host. As I said, none of this would be happening without you. But anyway, welcome to all of you, and delighted to be here today. And we're covering, dare I say, a beautiful topic. I suspect it'd be hard to find anybody who doesn't like or appreciate beauty. Now, granted, as we say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So, what we find beautiful might be different for each of us, but that each of us are drawn to beauty, I think, is kind of might be a universal truism. And for a good reason. Beauty is medicine for the soul, you might say. And it has a profound impact on our nervous system and our well-being. And this is, in fact, research and science backed, which shows many of the benefits of observing and appreciating beauty, its effect on our immune system, our nervous system, our creativity. And even small, unexpected brushes with beauty can spark optimism, insight, and emotional clarity. And so there's been much research done on the benefits of immersing ourselves, for example, in nature with practices like forest bathing. But what I'm going to hope to help us all realize and appreciate that of course, going to nature and the beauty of Mother Nature and a stunning sunset or whatever, a moonrise it takes our breath away. But we can nourish ourselves in small doses of micro beauty all throughout life, throughout our day, and so that's what I hope is for all of us to find ways to appreciate the beauty that's always around us and is available. So, so let's take a moment and turn to the gallery view here and see if what you see in the faces of this mandala of human souls that have gathered here today, and notice if there's any beauty that's available to you as you look at these faces. These are all people that are have a shared intention of appreciating more beauty and awakening more spiritual intelligence in themselves and the world. And just notice what's real and true in this moment without efforting. Is beauty readily visible or more hidden in these faces that of the um, beings that have gathered here with us. Now, so as you kind of take it in as it is, let me invite you or all of us to close our eyes if you're comfortable and turn inward as you recall an image of beauty. It could be one of your favorite scenes in nature, your garden, a piece of art, or something you encountered recently that you found beautiful. So let the image and the sounds that are associated form in your mind's eye. And in fact, you can imagine the scene as if it's residing in the center of your chest. And take 3 or 4 full breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth as you immerse and marinate yourself in this scene. So now you could continue to breathe normally and naturally. keeping some portion of your awareness on this image of beauty in your chest, in the space, kind of a hologram in your chest. So 50% or some percentage of your awareness with that, as well as noticing what happens to the body, the nervous system. Is there more relaxation, a clearer mind, a shift in the mood, how the chest feels? Has the breathing naturally shifted, deepened? So just notice what this dozing, drowsing yourself in this beauty does to you. Didn't have to go anywhere. You just kind of evoked this image that's always available in the chest. So now you can let your eyes open and let's take a look again at the mandala of souls through the gallery views. And how are the faces looking now? Is there more beauty in the faces of the others that we're watching? You know, even though we've all aged, at least for a few minutes in the last few minutes, is there more beauty visible still? More radiance, more smiles, more light that is coming through. Just notice. So, as Khalil Gibran tells us, beauty is not in the face. Beauty is in the light, is a light in the heart. Now, of course, the face reflects that, so you could see it through the face. But point is, we're not talking about just the physicality or, the quality of the makeup we have and whatever it might be, but it's the light that comes through us that we feel that grace, that beauty. So I don't know about you, but I'm certainly seeing more glow, more soft and sweet smiles just in this quick exercise. So the conclusion for me is, and perhaps it will resonate for you, is if you want to look more beautiful, which I think most of us want to look beautiful, just practice noticing, appreciating, and taking in the beauty that is around us. So as we take in more beauty, we become more beautiful. And it's kind of like you become what you eat. Feed yourself with a daily diet of beauty and in big and micro doses, and you will in turn become more beautiful, which is kind of a super win-win and creates a flywheel because you take in more beauty, then you notice the beauty of the people around us, then we become more soft, more radiant, more glowing, more smiling. So we become more beautiful, and then they see our beauty, and it just kind of becomes a virtuous circle of and more beauty and more light. Um, and it feeds us and it feeds them. And I think that's, dare I say, beautiful and gorgeous, or that's awesome. So, enough with this beauty business. Let's get back to reality, which isn't always so beautiful. So it might seem at first blush, even though the wise ones, someone like wise like Rilke tells us that perhaps all the dragons in our lives are only princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything terrible is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that needs our love. I don't know about you, but I have certainly, in looking back at, seemingly painful, tragic incidences, in my life that were horrible. In hindsight, I found their hidden blessings, and that became part of the tapestry of the beauty of life and the growth that I've experienced. So I think it's possible. I'm not suggesting any kind of spiritual bypassing. The tragedies and the pain are real, and but it does can give us some faith, some trust in the process that eventually we will find its hidden blessing, its beauty, and that helps us go through it without denying the reality of the difficulty. So, speaking of how to resource ourselves with the difficulty, let's just take a moment and begin to consider a challenge, a problem, or some difficulty you're facing. And without getting too much into it and getting caught in the story, but just thinking about it, so to speak. Notice what begins to happen to the body, the tension level, the breathing, how your chest and belly feel, and how it affects your mood. Just thinking about this problem. And take a snapshot of this state, just of beginning to consider this difficulty. And it doesn't need to be the biggest challenge you're facing. And just we all face small and big problems, most of us. I certainly do. So now you can close your eyes and recall the image of the beauty you had just worked with a minute ago. And imagine it again residing and spreading at the center of your chest. And take a few full breaths as you let your consciousness, your mind, your soul marinate in this scene. And notice what begins to happen as you recall that image. Does your body begin to open and relax? You feel more or less capable to face this problem? And just stay with this image of beauty in the chest and after having considered this problem. And feel free to share in the chat what the image of beauty you recalled that is in your chest, so to speak, now. And what is your experience now? Has anything shifted, as you considered the problem, the challenge, and then as you brought in a little dose of beauty along with it? So I would love to see anything you would share in the chat. Feeling lighter, more spacious around my problem. I'm noticing I feel softer and less tight. And just feel free to type in the chat also what are your favorite ways of accessing beauty? Where do you find beauty? Is it hiking? Is it walking on the beach? Watching birds, trees, flowers? There's a piece of art that you like, a painting, a sculpture. And I see here, knowing the beauty will always be there, something in my heart softens. Yeah, so Blaise Pascal tells us in difficult times, carry something beautiful in your heart. Yeah, clothing, design, and nature. Yeah, what we wear and the colors and the certainly affects our mood, and it can be beautiful. Um, and being in the vastness, in the presence of the vastness, like the ocean, that is one of my daily doses of beauty, is walking on the beach. And this morning was gorgeous with the birds swarming around my head and making their sounds, and it was quite dramatic. The night sky, of course, for many people is a way to get inspired with the vastness and the awe. So, those memories, those images are available for us, and they can resource us to deal with difficulties, as you might have noticed. And to love beauty is to see light, Victor Hugo tells us. So far, I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know or believe in at some level. But beauty, like any SI quality, can benefit from practice, from to form a habit to open our eyes, our physical eyes, the eyes of the heart, so we can notice and take it in and appreciate it. And we can benefit from its impact on our well-being, our creativity, our enjoyment, and love of life. And when we can appreciate and notice this beauty, our whole perspective on life begins to shift. So one of my interview subject for my SI research said it something which I found interesting. The little things, cleaning up after meals, helping my wife with grocery shopping, those things that I used to think of as being in the way of the important things, I now see as having their own beauty. Yeah. And then someone here in the chat says, I don't think about problems, new opportunities, stuff happens, and that's just new opportunities to learn. Beautiful nature memories and the faces of people and animals, diverse beauty, having something to offer me that is valuable. The beauty I see, I want to tend, nurture, and protect. And the beauty of our connectedness, of course. That's beautifully said. So, as I said, I'm probably preaching to the converted here, not anything you haven't considered at some level, but really like anything, it's about the practice. And not practice as a burden, but practice for the joy and the beauty of it. So I hope you will be able to join us and enjoy the practices that we're going to suggest you do in the breakout rooms here in a few minutes. And I'm trying to keep my talk short because I'd rather get us all to practice more than talk about beauty in the abstract. So, our exercise today is going to be a bit longer because we'll be diving deeper and trying to help us see our own beauty, which is often the hardest to see for most of us. So, Pauline, do you want to join me here on the stage and the spotlight?
Yes, I'm looking forward to demonstrating the exercise. It's got three or four parts. Well, three parts. So, shall we begin by sharing the instructions?
Please, yeah.
Okay, so Yosi, you're going to guide me in the first part, but actually, I jumped the gun. First, we get to say hello and introduce ourselves. Hi. I'm
Hi, yeah. Yeah, so you'll be put in breakout rooms in dyads, and so just so you know what we're talking about. So Pauline and I are going to pretend that we are in a breakout room as a dyad to go through us.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll skip the 1 minute introductions, but Yosi's voice, or maybe my voice, will be coming through the audio when you're in your breakout room. So you don't have to worry about keeping track of time or anything. He'll tell you when it's the next part and to go on to the next set of instructions.
and you will put these also in the chat so they have.
Yeah, anytime when there's a question or words you have to ask, or we invite you to ask your partner, I'll put that in the chat, and you can always pull up the chat when you're in the breakout and scroll up to see the previous chats. Okay, so the first part is called Spot a Spot. And we already planned that. Yosi, you're going to lead me in this section, right?
Yeah, I'll be asking.
Okay.
So in this thing, basically you invite your partner to spot a spot in their environment. Nothing profound. You're not looking for something beautiful or not per se. So I'm just gonna say to Pauline, my partner, spot a spot, and then she'll look around wherever they are, she is, and notice a spot, anything that grabs her attention. And once she does, she just says, "Got it." Once they've picked something that captured them, and they don't share what it is, they just say, "Got it." So let's do it. Spot a spot.
Got it.
Thank you. What about it grabs your attention?
The the way the light reflects and the radiant quality of the gold.
Thank you. So, as you saw, Pauline responds with just simple one or two sentences without getting into a detailed description of what it is they're looking at, or a story. So, if it's fine, if it's meaningful to you, but you don't need to share that. It could be just the play of light or, anything, the contrast, it could be, a chip of painting on the wall and the edge of between the two colors. It could be anything that you kind of notice. So let's just do it a few more times. Spot a spot.
Got it.
Thank you. Tell me something about it that grabs your attention.
The the coziness of the fabric, I feel a warmth.
Thank you. Spot a spot.
Got it.
Thank you. Tell me something about it that grabs your attention.
The intricate details and multiple facets, like very complex.
Thank you. Spot a spot.
Got it.
Thank you. Tell me something about it that grabs your attention.
The deep green color is very vibrant and almost silky. And yeah, I feel a sense of like the natural world looking at it.
Thank you. Okay, so you'll do this for 4 minutes, and then you invite your partner to just look around, and the person who's been spotting spots looks around, notices, and describes how the world looks like now. So, what does your environment look like now, Pauline?
Compared to when I started, I feel slower. I feel like I've slowed down, which therefore I'm just more observant of everything. It's like I see more. And I am appreciating like the texture and the depth of things more than I normally would. And the light, there's just it's almost like looking at a painting, everything I see in my space. It's like all of it feels like art.
Hmm. Okay. And has your sense and flow of time shifted at all?
Yeah, when I said I feel slower, it's like time has slowed down and I have more space, more time to appreciate what's here.
Okay, great. So while you won't do this in the exercise, but just to give you an example, it may be helpful. Can you name some of the things that you spotted just so people get a sense? And
Sure, yeah, this again, you won't be doing this in the exercise, but I was looking at I have a metallic drum, and then I was looking at a hat, and then I saw a bookmark, and then there's some crystal on the mantle.
okay,
But I know
so
you
the
had some more abstract examples, Yossi, like the corner, the way the walls meet. That's one of your favorites, right?
I don't know, my eyes always get caught in there.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, these are normal things that are in our environment all the time. They're not like something you're trying to find something of particular beauty. You just look around and our eyes somehow naturally are drawn to something. And then we just unpack what about it draws our attention. And then the more we unpack it, it starts to bring in a sense of wonderment and curiosity and presence. And then our perception shifts and things seem more vibrant, alive, and time slows down.
Hmm. So then after you've both done spot a spot and look around, it's time to move to the next section. But yes, I would have switched roles with Yossi and I would then direct him to spot a spot. So we'll pretend we did that already. And then the next part of the exercise is repeating inquiries. So whoever was guiding the spot a spot first will ask the questions first to keep the order the same. But just to mix it up, since we didn't do both sides, I will ask you these questions, Yossi. How's that sound?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me something your loved ones or others appreciate about you.
My intelligence,
Thank you. Tell me something your loved ones or others appreciate about you.
my out-of-box thinking and creativity,
Thank you. Tell me something your loved ones or others appreciate about you.
my entrepreneurial spirit and willingness to take on new projects, new initiatives.
Thank you. So we can pretend that that was 3 minutes of repeating the same question and thank you. And then we're going to move to the next set of questions. Tell me something you appreciate about yourself.
Well, I appreciate some of those same things about myself. I would say I appreciate my willingness to reinvent myself or reinvent my life. Um,
Thank you. Tell me something you appreciate about yourself.
how much I love my children. I love that about myself.
Thank you. Tell me something you appreciate about yourself.
Hmm. My heart's capacity for love and kindness and compassion.
Thank you. So again, we'll pretend that we have been doing this one for 3 minutes. And as a reminder, Yossi's voice is always going to come on and say, finishing the question, moving to the next question, and he'll probably read out the questions too to remind us in case we are more of an audio type as opposed to going back and reading in the chat. And then we'll move into a 3 minute monologue. So, Yossi, you're going to be looking at the arc of your soul's life journey, the challenges and difficulties you faced and overcame, Can you appreciate and see the beauty of your journey, the hero's journey of your soul?
Okay, wow. How many days or weeks do we have for that?
Or distill it to 3 minutes or less
Just
because we're in the demo.
okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I think I was just reflecting on my soul, my life's journey. I was conceived and born into a war-torn region of the world. Actually, when my mom was pregnant, there was a war in Israel, and my dad, right after my birth, was drafted or gone to war. So, and my parents carried a lot of transgenerational trauma from being refugees, and so um, wasn't easy. A lot of that was absorbed into me, and then being drafted into the military. But through all the difficulties, somehow I found some meaning that inspired me to want to lead people in more humane ways from the military, and um, got me motivated to start businesses and try my hand in different leadership approaches, and some success. And then I had some crises where I had an awakening experience, and but that threw me into a manic episode that got me pushed out of the company. And again, I had to deal with the shame and being canceled, and then reinvent my life and do another company to prove myself, and then decide that all of that really wasn't meaningful anymore, and going back to school to do a PhD in psychology. So I just appreciate the ways I've been willing to pick myself up from the challenges and find new sources of meaning, and learn and grow through it all, I think, and expand my capacity and the willingness to see things in new ways and new opportunities to learn and grow and contribute.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity to reflect on my entire life in 1 minute.
Yeah, I just want to name that it might not present itself as like a coherent narrative. I know, Yossi, you actually have told your life story many times. So you're practiced at it, I am imagining.
Yeah.
And for me, it would not come out as like a coherent arc at first. If this is the first time we're doing this practice, it might just be you pick one aspect of a challenge you overcame, and yeah, falling back on those things that we shared in the previous two inquiries about what we really appreciate about ourselves, just these strengths and these beautiful qualities that are part of that journey. Is there anything else you want to say about this process of uncovering our soul's journey, Yossi?
No, I'm glad you said that. It may, and I don't expect it to come out as a coherent narrative in 3 minutes. As you said, I've been kind of telling my story on many podcasts and whatever as I'm trying to promote this idea of spiritual intelligence, etc. So I've been reflecting a lot on that. But part of the reason we put that in here is that even if you can't come at it and tell the whole story, your life story in the inquiry today, I think that's a great seed that I hope will be planted that you will reflect on outside today's meeting. And I think so that I think that's a good inquiry for any of us to look at our life and see if we could find all the false beliefs and all the dragons we've had to slay, the self-limiting beliefs, and how we've expanded and grown, and appreciate our life's journey and the distance we've traveled. So But and maybe you'll get inspired and write a memoir of your life. People do that, and it becomes a book. So
Mhm. Great invitation. I love that.
yeah, why not?
So then, after the first person finishes their monologue, you'll be invited to switch roles and go through the same set of repeating inquiries, and then the other person gets to share their monologue. And then the final portion of the practice is a chance to sit in silence together for a minute and see each other and be seen by each other after already having shared details of your life and your heart. There's a chance to really just rest with that and appreciate each other without words. You want to try it for 10 seconds, Yossi?
Okay, sure.
So we'll pretend that was a minute. And Lynn, I saw you unmuted. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, but that was serendipity, wasn't it? I didn't actually do. I did have a question. Is it 3 minutes altogether, or is it 3 minutes each in each session?
In the
So,
previous 3 minutes for each, there's three sections of 3 minutes.
yeah, but each
Okay.
person's going to go through one at a time, starting with the inquiry.
Yeah.
So after Yossi finished his monologue, then we would have switched and gone back to the top. So then I would have been answering each of the inquiries before I get to do my monologue for three
So it's
minutes.
it's 6 minutes each session then. Is that what you mean altogether?
9 minutes because there's 3 minutes for the first,
Yes.
3 minutes for the second, and then 3 minutes for the
But
monologue.
is that per person or is that together?
Per
This is per
person.
person.
Okay.
So the
Yeah,
entire practice is going to be close to, what was it, 35 minutes?
yeah,
Because,
something like that.
yeah,
When
each
you
person
add
gets
up.
to go through all of the steps.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm. So
Can
after
I?
sitting, oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
I just
Angela.
want, yeah, hey everybody.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Yossi, that was so moving to hear about your life story. I feel very tearful and a lot of resonance in the
Mm.
heroine's journey, and this is really powerful. And Pauline, your share about beauty and the depth of the themes, I'm really touched. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That touches me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
being
you.
received, being received and telling our story is so important for us. I think we
Mm.
all have the need to tell our story and when that story is heard and received with compassion and tenderness, it's just beautiful and softens and tenderizes our heart. So thank you for that feedback.
Mhm.
So back here, so after the sitting in silence together for 1 minute, then um, you'll get a chance for 3 minutes to debrief. And what's it like seeing each other and being together now? And how is it different when you first sat down together? So you want to do that, Pauline?
Yeah, we'll do a shorter version, but this is just open conversation for 3 minutes total. And yeah, how is it different than when we first started? I feel more enlivened. I feel more lightness, more my heart feels more online.
I feel a lot more tender. I just having shared and having received the feedback of how my share was received. So I feel a lot of softness, a lot of tenderness.
Yeah, I'm noticing that there wasn't a time for you to share with your partner about the monologue necessarily, but this is a good time for that in case you want to share a reflection, right? Like how your partner's monologue touched you, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I really appreciated your openness when you were naming the things you appreciate about yourself. I really felt a sense of self-love there.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to be humble and modest, etc., but that's false humility. I think naming what we appreciate about ourselves is important self-affirmation and confidence, and it's not arrogance. It's not, um, if it's done, we could be confident and appreciative of ourselves and know that, we're not the only ones and we're not, and those are all gifts that we receive through life, through our parents, through our environment, through the divine. So it doesn't need to become something that we egoically bolster ourselves with. It's like it just something we appreciate about ourselves. I think that's great.
And as I hear you share that, I notice part of me is wanting to come back more to this present moment and just really feel the quality of the connection. And that's why I stopped the share momentarily just to feel what's here right now. I do also feel tenderness. I feel warmth in my belly.
Hmm. Yeah. And I see the softness of your smile, which kind of softens me. And I see some light coming through your face. And
Yeah, I feel myself smiling more, and I see your smile and appreciating the warmth, the joy I see.
okay, so we got a love fest here. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
Yes, so that is the whole practice. Thank you so much, everyone, for witnessing and for your great questions. Are there any more questions? And just before I open it up for questions again, I'll mention if you're not able to participate or you don't feel called to, you can do this in your own breakout room as like a journaling exercise. We just want everyone to feel like they have all the options. And I will say, I encourage you to do it as a dyad because you might be surprised by the love that emerges for yourself and maybe for others. Yeah, it's just such a gift to be witnessed and to witness someone else in this process. And anyone who's watching the recording, you can do this as a solo practice or find a friend or a loved one to practice with as well. So, are there any other questions about how the process works? So, anyone who's watching the replay, we will see you on the other side. So, welcome back from the breakout rooms.
Yes. Yes, welcome back. So, I am just going to take a moment and take you all in through the gallery view. Yeah, I'm seeing some sweet smiles and some tenderized hearts. So let's open it up. I would love to hear what you might be willing to share about your experience and how that was and what you've learned about beauty within, without, all around. Don't all speak at once.
I really enjoyed my time in the room, and I was saying to Pauline that I felt a little skeptical or a little like I was just noticing in myself, like, oh my gosh, do I want to be here? And what is this about? And am I going to really open up to an intimate conversation with a stranger and who's going to show up? And But right away, I just felt like, I just felt like this door opened to me and I was like, just be here. There are 8 million other things I could probably do right now, but I'm not doing them. I'm doing this. And yeah, I could just feel like just in myself noticing all of that and feeling a pivot and just feeling in my skin and myself gratitude for just trusting and being here.
Yeah,
And
that's beautiful. Go ahead.
3 minutes for an arc of the life, like, forget about it.
I know that was an impossible task. But we'll come back to that. But I want to first acknowledge what you first said, which was, the skepticism, the reluctance, like, okay, do I really want to do this with a stranger? It sounds very intimate and what have you. And so I just want to acknowledge the courage and willingness that you have and you've had to do it. And yeah, I was thinking I should have in the introductory talk mentioned that this may seem a little much, but once you get into it, but this is a little bit of the paradox I think we as human beings face. The things we want, depth, connection, intimacy, really scare us. And we find all these reasons to not do them. But then we find the courage to go in, then we uncover all this depth and beauty and connection and but intimacy, we seek it, but we're also terrified. So we have this love-hate relationship with it, push-pull. So I think it's very normal what you're talking about, and I'm glad you named it. And how do you pronounce your name? Or maybe I shouldn't ask you,
Elisheva rhymes with whatever.
Eva,
Yeah.
Elisheva.
And I'm apologizing in advance because I also want to have to run to go get a kid. But yeah, Elisheva rhymes with whatever.
Okay, but thank you. Anybody else? I'm seeing some smiles and receiving you. Can you see the smiles coming back at you?
Can I just say one PS thing about noticing my own judgment come up?
Uh, uh-huh,
Was I
please.
also had this like moment of just heart opening and thinking everyone who's here right now has some deep, beautiful story that brought us to this moment. I don't know how any of you saw the announcement or decided to say yes and make the time, but I was like, whatever's going on in my own fear, like just appreciate that everybody here has some deep, beautiful story. And you talked about the hero's journey. I'm like, okay, we're speaking that language. So anyway, thanks for letting me PS. Sorry. It seems
No, it's huge. I'm so glad you named it because it's when you peel the all the layers and whatever, and when you hear the story of each person, we're all on the hero's journey. I mean, it might be more or less visible, but even the greatest jerks, so to speak, when you get to know their traumas and the things that got them and what they have to struggle with, it just kind of softens and opens us up. So not that there's any of those jerks here. I'm sorry. And there's beautiful people here. But yeah, when you start to hear the stories of people, then it's you appreciate that we don't know the story behind each person. And we could stay open and curious and stay in that knowledge that behind every human being, there's some kind of journey. Yeah, Angela, so good to see you here again. It's been a
You
while.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Um, for me, I resonated so much with your story, Yosi, and then with my partner, there was a similar like I've been through like so many hard things and just such a depth of trauma, I often feel that I'm just alone in how severe things have been, how much I've had to come through. And so both hearing your story and then with my partner, there was such a sense of wow, some kind of shared connection. And then there was such a deep quality of a spiritual I don't know, through line through all of that. Like, like a I don't know, like a intention or a strength, like to know the true self through all of that. And I felt that so strongly. And then my partner, um, we both shared some things around the ways of seeing and clairvoyance and psychic sight and capacity, though my partner was more uh, has more capacity than me, and but I dabble in that. My husband's really good with that, and then they were able to share some things of how they saw me in the end that was just so moving to me, so spot on. Like I love being seen. I love it because I so was not seen, and I don't
Hmm.
know, just to be seen too in my beauty, the beauty of my soul and my intentionality. It's just, oh, I felt very, very touched and very
Yeah.
grateful.
Touched and moved, yeah. But
Yeah.
as you said, you've had a lot. I know a little bit about, you from all our interactions, and you've gone through a lot of trauma, etc. And you made it to this moment. So as you look around, are you
Yeah.
just just reflect on you've gone through all of that, and here you are.
Seeing your bright green shirt
Uh-huh.
and the purple flower behind.
Yeah, okay. So you're appreciating beauty that you're seeing. Uh-huh. But I'm just trying to see if I can invite you to see the beauty of your journey, your soul's journey, that you've gone through all this stuff and you're here and you're able to connect and articulate and share and appreciate yourself and others. I think that's pretty I don't know, pretty remarkable, pretty precious.
Mm.
Yeah. What are you experiencing now?
Just feel tearful and
Uh-huh.
just what you're saying is just true.
Uh-huh. It is true, yeah. So as you feel your tears and the touch of your hand on your chest, and what would if the tears could speak, what would they say?
I think it's something about like it's been really hard.
Uh-huh.
I've had like a lot of hardship
Hmm.
to face to
Yeah,
be
it's a
with.
lot of tenderness, compassion for the hardship. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And is there appreciation for how you've survived through it?
Yeah, I think there's appreciation for like what it's cultivated in me. Like I have so much capacity and I'm getting close to being able to now turn and offer what I'm going to offer in the world. And I'm
Mhm.
still doing some deeper healing, but I feel like a heavyweight champ. I'm just like I feel so solid. I'm just like I've got this. I
Okay.
know this. I know the psyche. I know how to work it.
So heavyweight champ, yeah. So all these challenges, all these weights have made you a heavyweight champ that now helps you in contributing to others.
Yeah, to the healing journey and the healing of these great turning times, to
Yeah,
contribute something to
yeah,
move humanity towards something more transformational, evolutionarily healing,
yeah. It's
enjoying.
amazing. It's amazing how these difficulties kind of inspire us. I didn't quite say it, but as I said, in my story, I was born in a torn part of the world, and part of my personal aspiration is to contribute to peace because I've seen the horror of war.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I feel the same way. And I've always felt that connection with you and the Armenian genocide and my, you know, grandparents and all their atrocities. And it's like it just comes through. And it's like, no, war or violence is not the way. It's so clearly not the way for me.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Anybody else? I'd love to hear some of the other voices here.
Um, I think you articulated something that was interesting and resonated for me when you were commenting about the paradox of this is what we all want, intimacy or um, uh, connection and things like that. And that's my dog. If
That's okay. Yeah. He wants connection too.
does want connection, he
He
wants
wants
attention all the
attention,
time.
wants connection. Uh-huh. He wants to love on you.
Um,
I should have asked. I thought, tell me something that your dog appreciates about you,
yeah,
Like it says, help me see myself the way my dog sees me, right? There's that.
yeah.
Sorry. Keep
But yeah, that was just I was how I was feeling too. Like, oh, am I gonna do I want to go through this exercise um, or try it out? I'm glad I did. I was just it was very um, satisfying and um, nurturing to be with another soul for a few minutes.
Yeah. So you're appreciating your willingness to do it despite some of the reluctance.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what helped you? What helped you make that choice?
Uh, well, I was thinking, I was kind of like looking at the clock, like, well, first I was thinking it was going to be an hour long, and then it realized it was only going to be half hour. So it's like, oh, I can do this, So,
Mhm.
so I had the mental, I was, evaluating it, and I was just kind of warming up to everything, and so just
Mhm.
kind
Yeah,
of,
I can do it. So ultimately you affirmed, I can do it. I can do this. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. And so what are you experiencing now?
Um, it's the joy of being honest and fresh and present.
Mhm. Joy of honest, fresh, and present. How do you experience the joy in your body now?
Um, I'm feeling it in my head and in my, my facial expressions. I'm feeling it in my chest and kind of a relaxed, um, just a relaxed, I don't
Uh-huh.
know, relaxedness.
Relaxedness. Uh-huh. And you're laughing spontaneously. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and yeah, I feel kind of just at ease and
Mhm. Yeah, ease and joy. So what happens if you notice the sensations and energy of joy in the face and the chest and the ease and include also your feet and your legs and the support you're getting from the ground, the earth below, and being here as you are? What happens then?
well, I'm integrating other parts of, the whole of my body and
Uh-huh.
um, the ground and the support of it. And I'm feeling more solid and um, whole, I would say, like appreciating all of my,
Hmm. Solid and whole, and the joy is still there?
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, and is it stayed localized or spread or
Yeah, I think it's spread a little. It's kind of diffused. It's a little more. It's I kind of before it was a little lighter and more laughter oriented, humor oriented, and now it's more. It's kind of more solid and stable and
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, but
kind of
still joy,
appreciating.
so a different frequency of joy.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. Okay. So there are many qualities or flavors of joy, just like there's many flavors of beauty or love or yeah. So we can appreciate the richness of the textures.
Hmm.
Can become a joy connoisseur, like some are wine connoisseurs.
Hmm.
Anybody else care to share here? We have a few more minutes. Yeah, Lynn, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm going through a bit of a funny thing now. We've had quite a few minutes while we've been sitting here because that was such a wonderful session that I was able to allow the layers that are sitting in there that I had actually got covered with other layers and speak about things in a different way, and realize that I'm not dealing with the grief I'm going through at the moment. And that was invaluable for me because I now know I've got to, and my body's shouting at me now because um, my mother died just before Christmas, and then 8 weeks later, a very big transit van came into the back of my car while I was driving or slowly driving, and all the layers have been coming out in a really painful way. But it's almost like it's shifting the trapped grief from decades, you know. So I'm very grateful for this evening because, or it's day for you, because it's helping me, giving myself permission to value myself more and feel more love from others, which I certainly felt while we were doing the work. That was a very special occasion. And to come back to myself more and allow myself to feel the grief that I'm not. It's so big at the moment that I can't. I mean, I think I can't go. It'll take me an hour to go into all of it all. But this present stuff, I've got to dissolve. Is the word I'm trying to use with more love
Mhm.
and just let it flow out of my body. And I've been keeping it in there because that's what I've always done.
Mhm.
So yeah, I found it quite emotional, but it was the love that was in the room together when we were working as well. So
Mhm. So the love helped you sort of resourced you so you could dip into the grief again
yes,
and go through
yeah,
the layers.
yeah,
Yeah.
I felt unconditionally between us. We'd got that bubble really to work together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know grief is hard and it has many layers, but it has its own beauty and sacredness, and that it points to the love of what was lost. And so, but it's hard work. So I'm glad you're feeling more resourced and not, sinking into it.
Realization that you don't know you're doing it to yourself, do you? So that was very helpful.
Mhm.
Mm.
And what's here now for you?
Gratitude, because, a few hours ago, I was still in that state, and now I'm in a better state to address my own requirements instead of everybody else's, which I'm usually doing.
Yeah. So gratitude for the experience, but gratitude for
Mm.
yourself, I hope, for
Yes. Yeah.
coming here and having the courage to do this, like we talked
Mm.
about.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes. Very grateful. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, well, unfortunately, we were running out of time. I didn't get a chance to hear you as much, Nancy Ann, today. We did hear you earlier. So, but if you want to say two, three words, just be great to have your voice in the space.
One last comment on grief. I was born into the world at a time of great grief at the end of World War II. As a 3 month old infant, I had pneumonia. If you
Mm.
can't breathe, grief is filtered through everything. The magic and beauty is that I recently had a fall that cracked the femur neck and had to have surgery to replace the joint. That surgery and the release of all of the nervous system reflexes that were holding that in place, gone, opened channels for me to receive myself. The odd paradox is all of that grief was tied to my mother's body. No, I'm not going to go into details, that doesn't matter. But what happened was my left side of my body, which is our mother line,
Mm.
had been compromised. And the surgeon said to me, "You will have this surgery or you will sit in a wheelchair." I said, "I will have the surgery. Please tell me about my joint." She said, "It's going to be chrome, it's going to be gold, but you need to know it might be a little short, a little long, might not be exactly the right angle." I said, "Then I need to tell you something. I've been told many times that leg was shorter because of all the tension I held in my body. Please make mine a little bit longer if there's going to be an error." And exactly, I have been shown the entire trajectory of the development of the human nervous system I passed through in order to just survive and eventually thrive, because I would not give up and I would not let grief. But this last week, 2 days ago, I went to have a float in a deprivation tank because that was just, I couldn't make sense of that. It felt like I was dying. I went in. When I came out of the tank, I felt all the tension of the grief while I was in the tank. And I was freezing when I got out, and the water is warm. I'm going, whoa, that's my nervous system. It's gone wackos. When I went to bed, I said, "I want to be warm and soft and cozy," surrounded myself with pillows and my down comforter. Sound sleep. I woke in the morning. It was gone. That was like a heavy blanket of fog. Gone. My perceptions back, reset to the peace that live inside of us before we engage this journey of return that we're currently passaging through, where there's no one that will not experience grief. But when we do it together, it becomes an alchemical experience we cannot predict, cannot.
Yeah, thank you for
Sensing
that.
and feeling is the way through.
Thank you for that, Nancy Ann. So, should we? I know we're over time. I apologize. So, I want to just let you know all our next event.
So our next event is on June 19th, and our theme will be purpose.
So, our purpose will be to awaken purpose. And till then, thank you all. And Take good care. Have a great weekend and hope to see you back here again soon.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank
you.
you.